So they're different.
How's the baby?
Everything's babies. They're now 4 and almost 2.
What are you, Mormon? What the fuck are you doing?
I only got 2. How many you got?
No more. That's it. 3.
You had 3 though.
I'm ready to. Yeah.
You ready to have a 4th?
No. That'll never happen.
Hell no.
I'd literally kill myself.
Are you snipped or no?
No, but I'm pretty sure I can't get nobody pregnant.
Why?
Why not?
Because I don't feel like I can. I don't think I can.
Why?
But she don't look like she have nothing.
Why?
It's fine.
Is it just dribbling out at this point?
No,
Is that what you're saying?
I still got a great string.
Okay.
I really am.
You can still shoot?
I was actually reading about, this cat who talked about prostate function. That shit gets interesting to you when you, hit 50. So, but I don't have none of the signs of enlarged prostate. Everything's
You don't
cool.
pee a lot or any of that shit?
Nah, none of that.
I do, and I have my prostate checked and like sonogrammed. I thought there was something wrong with me. It's the right size. I'm like, it's got to be swollen because I piss constantly.
Well,
The treats made me think I had diabetes.
Water,
No, it's not the water. He drinks a lot of coffee.
Coffee, too.
Caffeine.
As soon as I cut down on my no one gives a fuck.
Well, that's interesting, Chad.
Is that
Yeah, why not?
Right,
Everybody
right.
goes. Everybody goes to the bathroom.
It's slightly better than the yoga we just did on the radio.
Well, I
What
wanted
the
to
fuck
ask-
is that all about?
I want to ask about the prostate because I'm afraid of getting snipped because I don't want to have smaller loads.
I don't know if that's true.
I hear they get kind of like skim milk.
Yeah, I don't want
That's
that.
what I heard.
Well, you want kids, right? Because I think
No.
I think skim milk is better than child support payments.
It's a good point.
It's I hear it's like kind of like not as
milky.
Yeah. I want it to be
Is
fucking
almond milk.
what would be a good word there? Like
A good word for that
clumpy.
is no.
It's not as clumpy.
Yeah, not as viscousy.
viscousy is a good word.
Yeah. That's a good point, though. Skim milk is better than child payments.
Yes. You don't want kids at all?
I don't know. I mean, I'm 45 now, so I'm not as against it as I used to be.
There's a part of him that does slightly.
Maybe.
Not
with the right person.
Not.
What
But
the
he's not
fuck are you
obsessing
talking about? What did you just say right now out of your mouth with the right person? You said
Meaning, if I met somebody who I liked enough,
I thought I was talking to Jim Norton. I have no idea what's happening right now.
But no, but again, as you get older, I realize I will. As every girlfriend has ever said to me, as they walk out the door, you're going to die alone. I've heard that every time.
You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that.
They
At
say
all.
that to you as they're pointing a finger.
Every one of them has said that.
You're gonna
Fuck
die
you,
alone.
son of a bitch.
That's their final line.
Yeah, you
every
don't
time.
want that. Yeah,
No.
that is a real. Yes, the other day I was flying in from somewhere, and it was I had flown into Memphis, and there was this lady. She was going to see her father.
Yeah.
And he was real sick, and that's why you have daughters, because they'll come see my son. I love him, but he won't. Fuck that. He'll write a card. He'll he'll chat. He'll Snapchat me, but he ain't.
That's about it.
He ain't coming to check on me. So you have to have daughters that you can manipulate to feeling bad for you.
Right.
That's what happens.
Because they're more nurturing.
Either that or they're trying to stay in the wheel. Like, fuck that. What if this husband don't work out?
Fucking DL smells good again.
Yeah,
Always.
Yeah, that's what happens.
But I got a story about you smelling good. Remember when we asked you about a cologne?
Yeah.
It was that black Afghana.
Yeah.
White. It doesn't smell good on white boys.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Because you came in with that shit, and me and Jimmy were all in. You got one too, right?
I do.
And my wife went out and got it for me because I was saying, man, DL Hughley smells so damn good. I've worn it twice. It doesn't smell the same.
Right. Well, no.
I don't know what that's about.
I think it's different chemistry. I think it's the black Afghano has to be, you have to have the black in it. Like maybe the white
that's what I'm
Afghano.
thinking.
White musk is probably good for
A
you.
little white? You got to have a little white in there? I don't know what it was, but I was so bummed. It wasn't cheap.
No, it ain't.
It's not
and
cheap.
It has real hashish in it.
Do you spray it when you spray it? Do you spray a little bit on or a lot? Because it's very strong.
A little bit. It is strong.
I've worn it, and it actually does smell nice. But I'm going to tell you when I've used black Afghano. This is the truth, and it's really powerful, good stuff. If I have an escort coming over, and I fucking have dropped a gasser before she comes over, I have cleaned the entire room out with that. It's unbelievable.
Oh, you just spray it around the room?
Yep, and I wave
Or the
a
bathroom
towel, and it's amazing smelling stuff.
See what we're trying to tell you?
No, it's powerful. It smells
Maybe
great.
you're not using it for its right purposes, Jim.
I've worn it. No, I've worn it. I actually like it a lot, but it's too strong. And I'm afraid I'm going to smell too much.
Anti-hooker repellent is what this is.
I love
It just doesn't work. It didn't smell as good as when we smelled it on you.
Sometimes things don't.
But he's got something new on today.
Nah, this is my all-time favorite.
What is
Zing.
it? Huh?
It's called Zing.
Zing.
It's
Zing?
D-Z-I-N-G.
It's a little more flowery.
No,
like a little more
it's supposed to be leather
fresh.
and it's supposed to be leather and elephant shit, and it's supposed to smell like a circus. Right. It's supposed to smell like that,
like cotton candy.
So man, y'all
cotton
been
candy
good?
In there.
I took your recommendation on. This is how powerful DL's good smell is. You tweeted a fucking scent, and I went out and bought it.
Yeah, man.
Varnished.
I like that. This is my co-host on the radio show,
Hello,
Jasmine Sanders, and she has a fragrance thing. That nose of hers.
So move
not only is it huge. Come on, sit
Grab
down.
a mic.
Yeah, sit down. Just
Grab
get
a
on the
mic.
microphone. God damn it.
Wait, so I heard you're going to do morning radio, right?
We are doing morning radio.
You've already started.
103 now. We started on the 7th.
Are you here in New York?
We are.
Oh.
We start out. I think in September we had 36 affiliates. Now we're up to 56. So it's pretty.
Wait,
good.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
When we were busting our ass, it was so hard to get affiliates.
Hey, man.
No, I had the compliment coming. I did.
Yeah.
I did, but you make it sound so easy.
Oh, what this shit all about?
The compliment was right around the corner.
If you'd have just shut up, you'd have heard it.
No, DL fucking knows how to do radio.
Yeah, man,
for
I have
real.
a good time. It's a lot of, but you know what? And I know what I don't like about radio, and it's a lot to dig, is that I think there's just this, and I think it started a little while ago, but this pervasive sense of righteous bullshit indignation when anybody says anything, I don't get it. And radio is really bad like that. Black radio's horrible like that.
This black radio is bad because white radio is horrible. I didn't think black radio came in as fast.
White radio is more driven by probably corporate entities.
White radio?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like more corporate entities.
Absolutely.
But we can have civil. To me, I didn't never think Donald Sterling should have lost his team. I think that you should be able to talk shit about your neighbors.
Right.
Because when you leave your house, you're lying. Right. Everything you say at your house is the fucking truth. But when you leave your house, you say all the shit you need to say to keep all your shit. But I think that
to keep civilized,
right? We're
all lying to ourselves,
right?
We all talk shit in our houses.
Can you imagine if somebody followed you home and heard the shit you really have to say about every fucking thing?
But then we sit here. We did this whole discussion, but we haven't done it with you. And then we all sit here like, oh my god, can you believe what he said?
No,
we all know what that. That's
and he said worse. I was like, what? What happened? Now but I think people get it conflated. We live in an era where you can only hear what you want to hear. You can have your viewpoint edified. You don't have to hear anything you don't want to hear. You can unfollow people. You can block people. What happened to the fucking remote? I don't get what that's all about.
Right.
But I just think, and I think for us, in terms of being a comic, that's the death knell. If we start succumbing to political correctness, this shit is over.
And we have. Comedians have.
It's a wrap.
Except for, do you know who the balls in comedy are? Women.
Yeah.
They're the one. Amy, Joan Rivers, Natasha Leggero, like they're the ones who not only refuse to apologize, but they mocked the idea of it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the only ones showing any real courage.
Well, Joan is going. She'd be like, by the time the apology came out, she's not gonna be here. Like, she ain't gonna last that much long. Come on, now, stop it.
Yeah, she is.
She's 80. What is she?
She'll be dead by the time she.
Yeah,
she's got to be 80. What? 2 now?
80 something.
Yeah.
80 something. Wait, I gotta ask because I really don't know. So your take on the Donald Sterling thing, is that a popular one in the black community? It's not, right?
First off, I don't think a lot of people got all worked up about it. This motherfucker said shit that he said to us. I don't know who's more reprehensible, a racist or a side bitch who talk a lot. I mean, both of them are both equally reprehensible. I mean, if you want to,
I think she's way worse than this.
And she look like she has a dick too. That's like,
there's our redeeming qualities,
right? You know. So
it's been said. There's a little.
I don't think that. To me, if he didn't want black people in his game. Well, because you're going to need a nigga, too, if you play basketball.
We were saying that before.
Unless you're going to make the movie Hoosiers all over again.
Yeah, but you got the Eastern Europeans. They're moving in a little bit.
But then you're going to need us. You're going to need
always need you guys.
It's going to be a couple of black people. Even the Spurs needed a couple of us.
Well, yeah.
I mean, come on. You can't. There's some things we'll always be at the party for. But it's just like when it was, like this whole, the kid they got drafted by the Rams, who I think, I'm glad the country's moving forward, and I'm glad.
Oh, the gay dude. Yeah,
I'm glad, but
how funny is it that it was the Rams, though?
Man, if it had been the Packers or the Browns, a reporter wouldn't have asked the question.
Right. But the Rams is kind of funny, too.
That cracked me the fuck.
All right.
And, no one, he didn't get drafted in the 7th round because he was gay. He ran a 4.9. Mm-hmm. You could be gay, but you can't be slow and gay. You gotta come out the gate just as fast as you came out the closet. Like, you can fuck a man on Saturday. You just gotta be able to catch one on Sunday. You can't. There's no deviation from that. So I just think
And then,
people get all worked up about shit that they don't have to.
And Charles Barkley is the only honest one, because everyone in the NFL has to look at that like, what a joke. We already know there's a ton of gay guys in the NFL.
Right. And and people got
Not
worked
a ton,
up about
but you have
I bet
to,
it's a ton.
How many? Like, what percentage would you say? They say 10% in general in society. What would you think?
But I think to me, I think that it's probably worse because it's so much testosterone and they're all macho, and so they have to hide a lot more, and it's just. But to me, I just never, even when I heard because the first thing they did was email me what happened. Like, we were coming here,
right?
And they said this like a cautionary tale, like this is what you. And I went
with Anthony.
Yeah,
who told you?
The guy who owns our station group.
Oh, okay.
Because I've gotten in trouble a lot.
Sure.
Who owns you guys?
Wait a minute. Let's not say it like that. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. What the fuck is this shit all about? Who does own you guys? Some white guy. True. But it's a group. It's
meaning the radio station.
It's
of
Cumulus. It's
one of those
radio. It's a amalgamation of a lot.
Right.
But he sure did email me and said this would happen. But I don't get. If I don't want to hear the fuck you say, I won't listen to it.
Yeah, obviously we don't agree with the decision whatsoever. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they actually lost subscribers because of that.
How many black people are listening to this station?
We have more than I would have thought just by people writing me and coming up. I'm always shocked. I don't know, whenever a black person comes up and goes, I like your stuff, I'm like, really? Like, I can never believe it.
You want to go, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You got a problem, sir.
you have low self-esteem.
And it's always, sir.
What the fuck you have.
If you see a black woman that comes up and says she likes the show, that is rare.
That'll never happen.
I've had a couple.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like a Honus Wagner.
I just
baseball
don't think,
card.
I don't get like how you get like Duck Dynasty. Every time something happens, people get all fucking, just like even with this Free Palestine thing. So what if I say something you don't like? What the fuck is shouting me down about it? I have to agree with you,
right?
Like me and my manager got into a thing last night because I guess somebody had written Free Palestine, which I have. Contextually, I have no idea what the fuck that is. But he said, well, they drop leaflets before they drop bombs. I said, but if you pour, where the fuck you gonna go?
Right.
Like even if I tell you that I'm about to drop some shit, your best hope is that it don't hit your house.
Of course.
You ain't going no fucking where.
There's nowhere you could go.
And then he said they should tell their people to talk to the government. I'm like, when the last time the fucking government listened to poor people? Nobody gives a fuck what poor people say. You better shut the fuck up and be quiet.
Right.
No. So it's just this. But there is this, and I really think that comedy is in a fight for its life. If we start succumbing to this bullshit, we'll be Sinbad.
Are you? But radio is further along than that. Are you? You got to be worried to be back on the radio.
Not really.
But you don't have anything to lose. You got a great stand-up career. And
but I think more than anything, it's just that I wouldn't. Like, I said something that I had to apologize for, but only because I was editorializing instead of making a joke.
Wait, you did?
Yeah.
Was it on the show?
Yeah.
What was
the radio show?
Yeah.
You've already had to apologize?
Yeah. How long were you on for?
I apologize. I was probably on for 3 months.
I vaguely remember that. What was it in reference to?
Wait, how long have you guys been doing this show?
18 months, 9 months.
About 9 months.
Yeah.
Someone was telling me this is a new thing for you.
Yeah.
9 months isn't new.
Yeah. But you have to. I would only apologize if I didn't mean if what I said wasn't in jest. If I were trying to make a point. I basically said that we were talking about Columbus Short, and I basically was trying to defend, because every time a black dude does something, like Robert Downey Jr., this motherfucker fell asleep in somebody's bed and he's Iron Man. then fucking Charlie Sheen. Then he's, he gets the show, Lindsay Lohan.
Right.
But when a black dude does something, he's persona non grata. So I was like, in my defense of him, I talked about his wife, and then the next day he allegedly went in there and did exactly what they accused him of doing. I was like, oh, fuck.
What guy is this?
Bitch.
Columbus
Short.
Oh, okay.
And who was a good friend of mine. And so in my defense of him, I said some stuff about his old lady
I see.
But it wasn't, and I wasn't joking. I was editorializing.
Right.
And I wouldn't have apologized had he not. Then this motherfucker, I'm like, you actually broke in and did.
It was really bad.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I was, and first I was like, I'm not apologizing. And then I went, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Would they have fired you if you didn't apologize?
No.
Probably not.
No.
She says no.
I can't think. I can't imagine it was so.
Did they tell you to apologize?
No. But they
Good for
said,
you.
yeah, they didn't do that. But I said I would never again do something I wasn't. If I was making a point, I would use comedy to make the point as opposed to just editorial. Like, that's what you got.
But even if you editorialize, even if you make a mistake, like, because on a radio show, being on stage, we have to be funny. But if you're doing a 4-hour radio show, you're going to have normal conversations like we're having.
Yeah.
You don't always have to be right. I mean, as long as you're not saying you're making something as a statement of fact, it's like sometimes we're wrong.
Right.
We bat. I always say this: we bat 500. Most people are half the time right, and half the time we don't know what we're talking about.
But I just don't get. It's really in every fucking thing is controversial. Everything. I like, especially like to me, this whole Redskins thing. Like the NFL wants to ban the word nigga. Like you can't say, if you say nigga, you get a 15-yard penalty.
Oh, I think it's hilarious.
But if you can't say nigga on the field, I don't think owners should be able to say nigga during renegotiation. That nigga want how much?
But they should force the umps to say why it's a 15-yard penalty.
I can't wait. Unnecessary nigga on number 25.
That would be hilarious. Might have did a video like that.
The
for
penalty's
people.
been overturned. Apparently, he said bigger.
And it's not going to hurt white players, because white players would never say that on the field. That's a black player would
It is
say
the-
that.
No, they would.
Well, I believe that.
White players really
yeah,
on the
all the
field?
time.
Yeah,
All the time.
of course.
Oh, come on. What white
Yeah.
player would say that on the field and not get his fucking teeth knocked
The
out?
kid from Miami.
All
Yeah,
right.
the guy who
Richie
was bullying the
Incognito?
other guy.
Yeah.
Incognito.
But would he have said that on the field towards a player in a game?
He did. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, all the time. It's a lot of players from, the SEC. I mean, it's cats that play together and don't have any compunction about it.
But they can
But
handle-
Richie Incognito, sorry, he said it
Yeah.
off.
He apparently used to say it. They used to call him an honorary nigga. Yeah, so he didn't.
Oh,
it was
okay. But it was accepted.
Yeah, I get it
But
now.
the sport is so brutal, but they can't handle words.
Right.
That is so stupid
Right.
to me.
Right. If you're 6'5",
Those guys can handle it.
Right. And your job is
They're
to protect
throwing
other
their
people.
bodies at each other at full force, but
Right.
then someone says a naughty word at
Right.
you. That's where the line is. That's the problem.
My only problem is that we don't have a word that hurts you guys just as bad.
Nope.
Like,
Yes, you do.
Keep trying.
I'm moving in next door.
That's a sentence. But
oh wait, your daughter's pregnant by me. Yeah, that's horrible. Yeah, those are. We're getting you guys back one white chick at a time. God damn it.
and we know you guys don't have you guys don't have the word.
No.
we know.
Yeah, man.
we
We're
know.
working on it.
Oh wait,
Yeah, what are the new ones?
Scientists
We're working on it.
there's no good one.
What are the new ones?
Because you
though?
say
That-
cracker, nobody ever.
Nah, that's
nobody
silly.
gives a.
That's silly.
Gives a
Nah,
fuck.
that's silly. Come on. What are some of the new ones? Please tell me.
I
to
can't
look out for.
We've been in the laboratory trying to find what the fuck can we say? China. No. What the fuck? It's just nothing that because like Russia and America never fought because everybody had a bomb and it was mutually assured destruction. It was it was detente. We ain't gonna fuck with you. We don't have that word to brush you guys back from the plate. If we just did, it would be fine.
You don't have that pitch.
Just don't have it.
You guys got a good curveball though.
Yeah, but
You guys got a good curveball.
I mean, we are impregnating a lot of your women. But
Yes.
that's true.
I've seen a lot of those videos, and I'll admit I enjoyed them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
What do
I
you
do.
think? What do you think about LeBron?
I'm glad he went back to Cleveland.
Isn't that a great story?
That is a great. So, I mean, what a smart play.
Why?
Well, because I think,
Miami was done, so he had to go somewhere else.
and the young squad, and I think, but nobody fucking
I-
goes back to Cleveland.
And I think he feels like he needs to, he has something
Atone.
to prove.
I just think that he
Just
really,
how he left. He knows he left horribly.
Yeah, I think he did, but I also think he just loves that part of the country. I mean,
He lives there still.
yeah, the Puerto Rican women in Cleveland are nothing like the Puerto Rican women in Miami. So, and I bet his wife was like, "We ain't fucking standing around here with all this competition."
Right.
I can handle them Erie bitches, but these.
I'm a 10 in Akron. I'm only a 2 in Miami.
Fuck that shit. Get on the goddamn shit. Let's get on the plane and get the fuck out of here. But I think it was a good move. I think just what they say, just him being back, the promise of him being back, generated $500 million.
Wow. And they're not going to win next year.
Maybe.
You think they got a shot?
I think the East is so weak, right?
Right.
So who's? I mean,
Well,
Chicago
they'll
with
make the playoffs
Gasol
and all that, and you never
oh, they
know.
gonna, yeah.
Yeah,
But I
so-
think Miami's not gonna be that bad.
Really?
No,
I think Dwayne just re-signed.
Yeah, he
That's the
got
story
60
today, right?
million, 5 years for 60 million.
Well, he just went for the money. He knows he only has a few. Oh, why not?
Because he had 40 million for 2 years.
Right. But they
42
upped
million.
that.
Yeah, but he got more years, but less money.
Right. Who's going to play with him, though?
They got Ding.
Yeah.
They Luell Dang. They got Chris Bosh.
Yeah.
They got they get Josh McRoberts. They got Danny Granger. They got a good squad.
For what team?
The Heat.
The Heat.
Oh, for the Heat.
They got a good squad.
Wow, you know more than I do.
Yeah,
So
they got. I don't think they'll be that bad.
Really?
At all. It's not like when he left Cleveland. Like I couldn't even understand why somebody would get mad that you fucking left Cleveland. I love Cleveland. My family's from there, but fuck it, I would.
It's a scary place downtown. Next time I go up there, I got to go.
It's empty. It's like Hartford, Connecticut.
It's so creepy.
It is like Hartford, Connecticut.
What, Hartford, Connecticut's empty
It's
now?
an insurance capital, and it's like after 8 o'clock at night. It's like it's you and 4 people.
Whoa.
It's very, very scary at night.
Yeah,
It is.
The city of Cleveland's creepy. I don't know. It's like, it feels like there's zombies around.
Even
or something.
Detroit is like, we don't fuck around in Cleveland.
Yeah.
it's
Because nobody lives like in New York. The people are living in the proximity of everything. So there's maybe around Wall Street it gets a little weird at night, but there's always like you feel like people are still alive. But in those business places, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Albany's like that.
Right.
They just suck after 5 o'clock.
Now I live by Wall Street, and I'll tell you about the funny thing is that it's like my son who has Asperger's syndrome can't stand being in New York because it's
Too much?
it is. It's too much.
Is he with you nowadays?
No, he comes around.
He comes around and visits?
Yeah, but he doesn't. He still lives at home. But to me, when he comes here, he's always grabbing his ears because it's always sound.
Oh,
Is it a sound? He doesn't like sounds.
It's just I wouldn't notice it, but it's never quiet.
We're just
Always
used to it
sound.
now.
Yeah.
You don't even notice.
My daughters love it. Everybody loves it.
Right.
Here, but he can't take it. It's just sensory overload. And so even downtown, when you think it's kind of quiet, it ain't. But for me, it
feels quiet. Right.
But to him, it's always like a fucking siren or a garbage truck or some delivery truck or somebody shouting in the street. It's rapidly becoming my favorite city.
So what on your station? You said the white radio stations and the black radio stations. What is the thing for you guys on your station that is like the big thing?
More, you can never talk about religion. Oh, that's a bad thing.
They tell you?
No, but it's
just
taboo.
know.
It's women in relationship.
Can you not mock religion? I know black crowds don't like.
Wait, women in relationships? you got to be careful.
because we have a lot of.
Oh, you got a lot of women listening.
Oh, yeah.
I made this joke and I
And
said
this
that.
one.
Yeah, they think I'm like a show like.
Yes, say
no
it, chauvinist. Say it.
I'm not.
It's okay.
No,
Let's say it.
I believe a woman's right to be well paid as a man, but to have every job he can have.
Right.
But you could say
But
shut
you
up.
must be
sometimes.
quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
You
gonna
can say
happen.
I don't think it's bad to say shut the fuck up sometimes.
No, because they say it to us.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, but we mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
But we don't want you to mean it. That's the thing.
I do too. Like I made this joke one time about. I think anybody who goes to church all the time. I think in black churches, there's 2 things. There's 3 things. It's women, children, and gay dudes. Like if a dude goes to church too much all the time, and his woman didn't make him, he's pretty much gay to me.
You think he's trying? But you think he's going because he wants to not be gay?
Yeah, I think he's trying to pray dick out of his like, he can't even like be on his knees without thinking about dick. So I just think, and so I think that it's just so hypocritical. Like I remember, like our community, 70% of black people who identify themselves as Christian are opposed to gay marriage, but yet 75% of our children are born out of wedlock.
Right.
So let he among us who, without sin, wear the first rubber.
Right.
So I just, and they don't. I think sometimes.
But you can discuss this on your show?
Oh, we can. We just get
The
a lot of
jokes
heat.
are there, too, though.
We
As
get a
long
lot
as the
of heat.
jokes are there, who cares, right?
But does the station?
it doesn't help.
Does the station? Because the thing is, I've had very few black crowds in my life, but the jokes that they did not like the themes of is shitting on religion or child molesting jokes.
Yeah.
Things that like a white crowd just like they fucking would love when I do.
You see the irony in it. Yeah, I think a lot of times we have no irony quotient. We have no quotient of irony. Like when that article came out and it said a nigger in charge, and it was but it was a favorable article
About Obama, and
a lot of people couldn't
voice
get past the fact that
Right.
he was quoting racist, I guess. Yeah.
right, they didn't get it, and so I
Right.
think sometimes
Well, there's a lot of dummies out there.
yeah, and you can't. I think like they haven't liked that I talked about infidelity. They don't like that I talk about marijuana. They don't like that.
Oh, my God.
Is it kind of a woman's like your
It
main
is.
demo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you got to be bringing in the guys.
We do a lot.
Yeah,
of
it's like 50-50.
Yeah,
but
no.
it's mostly the women who complain that just says he's sometimes too much. If we're talking about infidelities or relationships.
Yeah, but don't you put 'em on
no
the air?
problem with it.
Yeah.
You put
Yeah.
the women on the air and,
Yeah.
have at it? That's great radio.
We let the
It
brides
is.
on there.
But that's great radio.
Yeah, it is. But then we hear it later.
Well, they're saying to him what they're not going to say to the guy that they're banging. That's what they're going to complain to you because.
What do you mean you hear it later, though?
Well, people complain later. We'll get an email about,
that's
hey,
good.
don't do that again.
That means
I know we lost an affiliate.
Yeah, we did.
What affiliate?
Because
the management is giving you the emails?
Yeah.
Oh, God,
I
don't miss that world.
Yeah.
What affiliate?
That's the good stuff that keeps
I don't know
people.
which one it is. Man.
That's the good stuff that keeps people listening.
Oh, you want to know?
I think for us, to me, it does.
Of course it does.
But I don't think that to me.
They don't get it still, man. They got to reinvent themselves.
They're the same panicky, no talents, this is all terrestrial radio. There are people who can't do it, and they want to have an input into it. And so one person complains.
Yeah.
And because 30,000 won't write in and say that was great, these dummies listen to the one complaint.
Conflict on the radio is always great to listen to. Always great.
But we always have it. It's always some shit that I've said that.
Always.
And I don't, well, you don't have to keep saying
I'm just
that.
saying, I'm helping you out. It's true, always.
Like, I don't believe that a man, I believe a man can be in love with a woman, but still fuck other women. I think that's possible.
Absolutely.
And I think it's more prevalent than not. And I think women love the notion of that not being true. Because any guy who's the guy who women say they want is probably fucking another guy. Like a guy who is like faithful and doesn't lie, and that guy attentive and doesn't. I think he's fucking another guy.
So your audience loses their mind over that?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
But they probably listen, though.
Yeah, they do.
Sometimes you listen because someone you're going to disagree with.
Yeah.
We have plenty of people that hate our guts but can't stop listening.
I see where this is going. I hope you have something to fall back on.
Thank you.
I'll be honest with you, because we've seen it all before. Like,
Right.
I see radio companies, they hire guys like DL who if I hired you, if I was one of those guys, I would just say, just fucking do your thing. I wouldn't give you one email. Not one.
But
they're gonna fuck it up.
Yeah.
You're not gonna fuck it up, they're gonna fuck it up.
Is that why you went to Sirius?
In the end, I guess, yeah. Well, we had no choice 10 years ago. No one wanted us.
We were standing on the end of a fucking plank with nothing but barren, empty water beneath us, and they rescued us.
Hey, don't kill yourself. I've got a deal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That sex in a church thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we had no place to go. But then they did bring us back, and they would not let us do. And people go, "Oh, you're just coming up with excuses." But it's the honesty here. They wouldn't let us do our thing.
Yeah.
They hired us, but then me, Jimmy, and Anthony, we got together. We're like, we're fucked. They're not letting us do anything. So we got this big meeting together with the lawyers, and I thought, okay, they're going to finally listen to us and realize you got to let us do our thing. And the whole meeting was why we couldn't do it.
I'm so glad that happens to somebody else.
Oh, it's CBS.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible.
When they brought us back, and we walked out like, we're fucked. It's just a matter of time. We're fucked. What are they doing? We knew all the rules and all the like, the areas that could be a problem. We knew all that, but we always knew how to work around it.
Yeah, it's
until we got fired. But
yeah.
but we did.
Apparently, you
and
we
didn't
got
know. We got other issues here at Sirius. Obviously, we're going through the shitstorm with Anthony and stuff.
It's terrible.
But as far as content on the radio goes, we're way ahead of you guys.
What did they? Okay, here's the thing. This is what I didn't get. Now, I believe Anthony doesn't like black people that much. I mean,
it's your feeling when you've been in here?
No, he's always nice to me. He's always nice to me. But I get the feeling that he's not obfuscating. He's exactly who he is. And so anybody who knows him, there's an element of the audience that digs coming to the show for specifically for what he says.
Right.
And so what I despise is when they feign shock.
Right.
That he would actually say it.
Right.
That I don't know what the difference between a tweet and a
the tweets were no worse than a lot of the stuff we did on the show. That's what I didn't get. They really weren't in the end.
I didn't get it.
Because it was one of those things where...
But I'm pretty sure he hates black people. But
no, he doesn't. No, that's not true. That's not true.
No,
honestly, not true.
Is or not, I get the impression that we are certainly not his favorite people.
No, you might be correct there. but the hatred... No, I
think we're above Mexicans, but just...
No, it's not a hate. What happens is like when you he's reacting a lot of it, and I'm not saying that he has the most liberal views.
Right.
But a lot of it is reacting to this pushback, like the press, the way they report things. And this is not about the judicials, it's the press and the way certain things aren't said in the press.
Right.
And then you start to hate the way things are reported. And sometimes you start to look at it's like, you focus it on the wrong in the wrong area. But I don't think it's because I've had a lot of conversations with him about race off the air, and he never once, and he believed me when he was drunk. He's never once said. Honestly, though,
fuck those niggas. What?
No, but honestly, it's never been that. It's never ever been that when you talk to him one-on-one, and it's just me and him in his pool, and he's repeating himself because he would drink a lot, and he would just go. It was never about I hate black. It would never.
You know, it was that. It reminds me of. Remember that? What was that? I'm mad as hell. I'm not gonna take broadcast news.
Network. Yeah,
great
Peter
movie.
Finch.
I don't think. I think that we have in some ways fostered this environment where people don't feel like they can tell the truth, so it goes in, and then they get more angry about it. I think we would actually do better if people got to have honest dialogue. No one's so fragile. Like I have never. I remember. Right after Don Imus, you would have thought I shit on the. I didn't. All I said was this: he had the right to say what the fuck he wanted to say, and I don't. I don't understand. To me, why how we're devolving as a society. I don't. Like I said, I don't. Anthony has always been nice to me. I dig him. And I think he's a bright dude, and I think he's a talented dude. I don't think he likes black people, but I don't think that's my place to. If there's an audience for that, what the fuck do I care?
And the Imus thing, I'll show you how this hurt as a white guy, because you defended him. I defended him in my HBO special about how it was travesty. Yeah. And so he goes on the air and he thanks D.L. Hughley for defending him.
Oh, really?
Jesus. I was like, you son of a bitch.
Hey, man, do you know what? Even to this day.
That fucked up all broadcasters. That's why I couldn't understand why more people didn't come forward and support Imus.
Oh, man,
I did not understand it.
They run as soon as
it was you. I think that's how we all got together, by the way, because I think, if I remember correctly, Jimmy was in Washington. You were filming the
HBO special. I knew each other,
special.
No, but I mean,
the night before the two nights before. Yeah, me, you, Attell,
no, I know
Bob
you guys
Saget.
always know, but then I met you for the first time, and we were bonding over the Imus thing a little bit.
And you guys had just got suspended for something.
Probably. That was the XM suspension. We were only on terrestrial
the homeless
radio.
Charlie thing. Yeah. And we bonded over the whole Imus thing, and then you started doing our show.
Right.
And I told you at the time, like, I don't know why no one else is speaking up about this.
Yeah. Bill Maher did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot, though. There really weren't a lot. There weren't a lot of, if it was a white-black thing, there weren't even a lot of white broadcasters.
No.
Not
but
many.
I think everybody gets like that. They get so afraid. Like, to me, like this whole... Like, you want to... What's up, Sway?
You want to say hi to Sway?
How outnumbered do you want to be? All right.
Huh?
Look, we taking over.
Yeah, the vote has just gone 3-2. I hope you know that.
We're fucked. Ever since they fired Anthony, they're not
what the hell? Black folks run this.
Sway, take a seat over here. Open chair.
Oh, my God. I see what the company's doing.
They're trying to drive Anthony to suicide.
Listen, it's our version of the
3 versus 2.
Yeah. What's the chicken? No chicken in there, man?
What's up, Sway?
How do you look fucking younger? What's wrong with you?
He's doing something
I
right.
thought that would be a great thing.
Yeah, but that's depressing the shit out of me.
Well, you look the same way.
You haven't aged a day.
All right, that's fine. All right, thank you for that.
We've known you.
You know Jasmine Sanders, my co-host.
Hey, man, how are you?
been?
Nice to meet you.
You're gorgeous.
It's white people turning this. What the fuck is this?
What is happening?
Ratings are going down.
No, but the black fans we have, there's 5 happy people out there right now.
A lot of fists in the air right now.
A lot of fists in the air in the break room.
So what's the name of the show now?
It's just
We have no idea.
We don't even know what the fuck's going to happen.
Yeah?
We're just here today. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
Had a good time today.
But you
had a
gotta
good time
admit you miss
yesterday.
him though, right?
Of course. I
Terribly.
did radio with him for 20 years.
Terribly.
Nah, they're going to reverse that, though, right? He's going to be back, right?
I don't know.
I hope so.
For real, I have no idea.
He won't apologize, huh?
No, but no, and I don't think you should have to apologize for certain things. But there's certain things he said I think you should have phrased better, because it's like
Like the race war thing?
No, but it's almost like when you're angry, and if you're going to indict somebody, you can indict that person for being angry. But I think that if you're tweeting in that kind of rage, sometimes you spray bullets. And a lot of times you hit other people who are just bystanders, and maybe that's probably where he could have phrased things a little differently.
Yeah.
But as far as the sentiment of that woman, I don't blame him for hating her, because I know him well enough to know. He told me the story the next
But
day.
if he'd have talked
genuinely
about her,
assaulted.
we're not a problem. Nobody would have a problem. Somebody punch you in your fucking face, just like, to me, just like I just didn't get the this is it's a race war, we're losing. I'm like, what? Because of
Did he say that? I didn't read that.
He said
one.
it's a. You heard him. You saw that. It's
Well,
I did not mean.
and the white people.
I think I accidentally retweeted that. I didn't mean.
That was a slip of the thumb.
No, I didn't say that.
So, one thing that pissed me off was when he said black people are violent. I wanted to beat his ass. You know, but other than that,
I'm sure you were not violent, motherfucker. Where's my gun?
Right. Okay, I actually have a show I'm doing too, so I'm gonna go.
I just wanted to say hi to Deal because I saw you
Are you
guys.
talking to Blair from the Facts of Life?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to go watch.
Is that Blair?
That's Blair from the Facts of Life.
She just walked in there. She's very attractive. Lisa Welcher.
Yeah.
Why would you bring?
Some of them fell off.
Why don't you bring her in here for a quick one?
Yeah.
Where is she at?
She's inside the studio, probably waiting for Sway.
right. Yeah,
You know
go
who's
Sway.
fine now? It's Punky
right.
Brewster. Have you
Thank
seen
you,
him?
Sway.
Hey.
Good seeing you,
All
buddy.
right, man. If you need me to fill in, I'm here for you.
Right,
brother.
right.
Let's see where this is going.
She looks
They
hot.
make a lot more money than I do, man. So, all right.
No, he makes a lot more money than you. I certainly do not.
You're gonna get if Anthony doesn't come back, you'll get his money.
No, they're going to drop my money. They're not going to raise my money. They're going to try to lower my money.
That number was wrong. All right, I just want to say it was
No,
off.
no,
It was
it
off a
wasn't.
little bit. It was off a little bit.
Yeah, it was awful.
Oh, you think I'm gonna rob you now that I know?
Yeah, he said
No,
that
that's
very.
bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
I had to start dressing like shit after that came out. Like,
I remember that. I was like, I gotta get in the fucking radio. But it's a
no, I think
love
you guys are. They're not going to listen to me, but they really should leave you the fuck alone.
Well, we're gonna make them.
You guys are rare. Guys like you are rare on the radio, so just let them do their thing.
Right.
You're smart enough to know where all the bombs are.
I just don't think they should be bombs. I just think
Of
people
course
should be
not,
able
but-
to go to. You're adult enough to know. Like they'll say, you have women in the car. You have single
Yeah,
single kids. You have mothers with single
remember
kids.
we had a meeting and they actually had a list of things that they were saying that we talked about too much.
Right.
You talk about sex too much. You say the word penis too much. It was like
Right.
a list, and they
Right.
actually had the words that we said too much.
I'm heating up right now.
Getting turned on, right? Him saying penis.
It was our nightmare forever.
Yeah.
And that's why you went to this series.
I mean, the content, they have never, that's why it's so weird with Anthony's firing.
Yep.
They never came to us once in 10 years and said, don't do that. Not once. Not once did they say, maybe you're talking about race too much or whatever. Nothing.
And Anthony and Patrice would have amazing, and that's
Back
what the
and
beauty of
forth.
Patrice
And man, you
was.
could see this now. Like if you go on Twitter now, they always post the dialogue between
Those
and it
guys
was
would
so
go
funny.
back, and it was
Right.
brutally honest.
It was
And that's
fun.
the thing. No one has honest racial talks with people of the other race. Everyone has
Right.
them with their friends, and even then they're eggshell walking. But those guys would, and they loved each other.
Right.
So it wasn't. It was very comfortable.
And I said this too. If we could have been on the radio the next day, we would have got through it.
Yeah.
Because like I said, the jokes would have been there. We would have.
Who got mad?
We would have beat the shit out of them because
There was something that was dumb.
Well, because it was a woman, and I mean, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But
But
the
did she
idea
kick
of
his
him being-
ass? Did she beat?
she punched him in the face. And
few
then
times.
She hit him really good once, and he said that what happens was she kept hitting him, and this is how I knew he was being truthful, because he said that he was putting his hands up to block,
Right.
and she was saying, "Don't touch me." Like that type of thing that would draw attention,
Right.
like you were doing something. And I'm
Right.
like, nobody lying would make up that detail. I mean, I would have believed him anyway, but
Right.
that's like one of those things
Right.
that's absolutely what someone would do if a woman was hitting a man to keep attention away,
Right.
to shame you into doing anything.
Right.
And some guys came over and they didn't hit him, but they kind of gathered around and they're like, "Don't hit that woman!" Like,
Right.
and and he had a pistol, and he didn't. He was. I wish the story had been more about the way he had behaved instead of a couple of maybe the questionable things he said.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the only thing. First off, I think Anthony is honest, and I think a lot of people feel like he did. And there's an underlying sense of frustration because at least for him, it's a level of catharsis to get on the radio and be able to vent some of the shit you feel. But it's people working with people that have to go home and pretend like they don't feel like they feel, and they feel like the only people that can speak. The only time you can get in trouble is if you talk about black or gay people, and people feel like that. But I honestly feel that the only problem when it got into like where I just think racially, when you say it's a race war and we're losing, and I had a gun, and if I had a shot, first off, if you pull a gun on a broad, then that's even worse. Like pulling a gun on a woman is
Right.
You might as well you'd rather take a domestic violence thing than actually even have that thought in your head. But I just think I didn't get how a company would then go, this is a guy who talks like this all the time, and then they would react like that. That's what shocked me.
We hope he comes
on his own
back.
time too. So.
I thought it would have been hilarious. I said this years ago because Anthony would criticize like sometimes like the thug videos and the rally. I'm like, dude, they like the same shit you do.
Right.
They're fucking guys who just want to bang hot young chicks. They have guns and they have money. Like that's your life. All he does in his pool is he has a pistol on him and there's girls all over. I wanted Anthony to go out and do these things. I think he would have had so much fun doing this.
I love guns, but I just don't think everybody should have them. I don't.
Yeah. I won't have one.
I don't.
Me
You
either.
don't.
No, I would have pulled a gun on that woman in panic. Not out of being tough, but I would have panicked and then
That's what
shot her
happens.
and then shot myself in the leg or the foot.
Yeah.
You would have pulled a
Which is why
Barney
I wanted
Fife.
to go.
Yes, exactly. I would have fucked up. Or a
But when
Plaxico
Anthony
Burris.
comes back and he will, we should. Okay, I will talk to my people.
Okay, good.
And
We're
get
gonna
him
need
back.
that.
And then you guys have to let me kick Dennis Miller's ass. All right, that's the trade-off.
Oh, what's up with you and Dennis Miller?
I fucking hate Dennis.
Why?
Wow.
I think I just never liked him. I used to like him
As a
but I
person?
think- I want to. I literally, if they said you get a freebie, you could kick anybody's ass and you won't go to jail.
It's Dennis Miller.
I'd beat the fuck.
Does he know you don't like him?
Oh, how could he not? I've said it on Howard Stern. I've said it on.
He said it everywhere.
Where did this start?
Does he bash you back?
No, he never did.
Wait, where did it start though?
I think one time
where was the
it
change?
started with the Don Imus thing, and he that that werewolf. I said he looked like a werewolf. Dennis Miller said he said the same thing, and I took it from him. I'm like, where the fuck would me and you ever have the same stream of consciousness about anything?
Right.
Like we don't see like anything.
That's kind of an easy one.
It's like,
But
it wasn't such a genius thing that it would.
It's an easy one. It's a good line, but it's an easy
Right.
one.
Oh, the
And-
werewolf line?
Yeah,
Oh, that was
everybody.
Dennis Miller. It was hilarious.
So he,
and he called my phone and go, "You're a funny guy. You don't need to do that." And I called.
so he
him.
accused you of
Yes.
taking the line?
And he called and then when I tried to call him back, he wouldn't even talk about it like a fucking man. He
Right.
just- and so then.
Wait, what did he say when you called him back?
He wouldn't answer the phone. He just left an answer. He clearly got my number from my managers.
Right.
Because they used to manage us both at the same time. And then he called me and said that. And then I like, hey, man, I don't even know where you get that from. And I kept trying to call him and he wouldn't answer. So I kept getting progressively more angry.
Yeah.
Like if somebody accuses you of something, they don't even have balls enough
To let you
kinda let
explain.
you talk. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Then now I hate him.
Do you know how you handle something like that when you see a joke that somebody you don't know? It's like, hey, look, just so you know, we have a similar joke.
Right.
I just want you to know I didn't get it from you.
Right.
I don't, I've said that to people before. If I see them do a joke about that's topical or whatever
Right.
that I know I didn't watch them do,
Right.
I don't want them to think I stole it.
Right.
So I'll say
That's-
something. You never come out and accuse a
What's
guy.
wrong with Dennis
Like,
Miller?
when would you think honestly, where would I have seen him do it?
Right.
I don't like.
Where did he do it?
I don't know. Do you remember when Don Imus happened? I was on Jay Leno that next night.
Yes, you were.
That night.
Yeah.
So when the fuck would you have said something
Wait,
that I would have got?
Did you use that line on Jay?
I think
Leno?
I did. I know I used it.
That's one of those.
Yeah.
That's one of those things. You guys, you're
And
gonna
I
come
don't
up with some of
understand.
the same shit. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
You see one subject is 9 million people trying to write a joke about that.
Right.
one
Yes.
subject. So stop.
I didn't say a werewolf. I said he looks like a wolf man of some sort.
Whichever. But now I hate Jim Norton too. Fuck them both.
Parallel thinking happens though, guys. Get that? You
absolutely
have
does.
Right.
It's like I never will watch DL because he's very topical. I don't want to know what you're doing on Donald
Right.
Sterling because I'm doing. I don't want to know what you're doing on fucking Paula Deen or Duck Dynasty because I know you're talking about
Right.
those things and I don't want to depress myself and see you doing better shit.
What I do is I come late. I won't watch anybody. I come
Never.
late.
But how frustrating is it if you think you have a really clever, unique Paula Deen line, and then it happens that Jimmy had or whatever, and now you're like, "Fuck, I can't use that."
I
Or do you
wouldn't handle
still
it
try
like
to
that.
use it?
To me, it's not. If I know I didn't have any contact with him and didn't know,
Yes.
then it wouldn't make
Then
me
it's
any
all
difference.
good.
We ain't
I
gonna
won't
have-
change it either.
Yeah, it's like, why would I?
It's you said there's 10,000 guys writing jokes about one subject. If it was some weird obscure thing from childhood, but if it's a topical Donald Sterling, I mean,
Yeah.
there's only so many ways to go with Villaviano and her.
Just
whatever.
hang out on Twitter, and you see everyone comes up with the same
That's
shit.
what I'm saying. It's
But then
like
you
a
got the
mind fuck.
scumbags that absolutely take your tweets.
Yeah, but to
There's a
me,
lot of those guys out there.
To me, it's just like now you can't like this has got to be a horrible time to be a white dude because you can't say anything about anybody.
It's never a horrible time to be a white
I was
guy.
about to
That's probably
say,
true.
really.
Okay, let's be
He's
honest
saying
with
that
each
now,
other.
but earlier he was saying, I wish I could be a white guy. He
Yeah.
changed his name to
I
Chad.
would only be white through the week. I wouldn't be white on the weekend. Because you niggas know how to party. I would not. Oh, man.
That would be a perfect life.
I'd be right.
White
through the
during
week, I'd be white.
White during the week, black during that's
Black
a
on the
perfect
weekend.
life.
That shit.
You know,
I just got to get my cholesterol and high blood pressure together for Monday. Wait till but I think you can't say anything like, you mean I can't talk about black people anymore? Now, when that red light is on, you can't. You better.
But you can. You know, black people don't even get mad. It's other white people. I never have black people complaining if I do a joke about black people. It's always white people who are thinking, well, that's really bothersome if I I've never had a problem from black people discussing this stuff. It's always some white guy.
The worst thing is that when people go, okay, like when somebody goes, well, since you said that and I reacted that way with him, then I have to react that way to you. Like it's all equal.
Right.
Like it's not all equal. Some shit is like, what were we talking about? And it was a white guy who was, it was this girl. She had gone to a school in Harvard, this really exclusive school, and she dressed like a rich white kid.
In
And they said
Jersey.
that's offensive.
The school,
Like how the
high
fuck
school
is
in
it
Jersey.
offensive to be like you didn't say anything ethnically about somebody?
Oh yeah, she was supposedly mocking somebody or something.
So
Right.
she mocked your wealth. What the fuck are you upset about?
Cares.
But that's the world we're in. But I don't mind. I'll tell you why. That's collateral damage in the shitty situation people are allowing to be set up with language. Because like you said, it's all broadcasters. It's almost like the black hosts who didn't defend Imus think it's not going to come for. Of course, maybe it won't be a white joke.
Right.
It'll be a Korean joke. It'll be a gay joke.
Right.
It'll be a sexist joke. There's always something that's going to sink
Right.
you. So you got to defend the other guys, even if they say something kind of stupid or that you don't like.
Yeah, it's always going to, trust me, you'll get your turn in the barrel. And
Everyone gets their turn.
everybody. Like when Isaiah Washington got fired for what black people say at their churches every Sunday. Every Sunday.
What did he say about gay people?
I don't know.
It was something anti-gay, right?
Yeah. I don't even know if it was anti-gay. It was just, what do you call him? What do you call him?
Did he call someone a faggot? Was
He
it
did. That's
okay?
exactly what he
That's
said.
pretty-
Was it a guy who's gay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a little, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But did he do it publicly?
Yes.
Yes.
Next to his next to the entire cast.
Yeah.
Really?
I guess that's his
Accepting an
publication.
award. Yeah.
Well, he's accepting
Well,
an
no,
award?
the award pushed him over.
Right. The award pushed him over. And he was like, there you go. I was like, wow.
See, yeah, this time I didn't say fag. What?
Yeah.
Well, you
Jeez.
But I just think people don't, it's to me that people get so, like, I guess now when I was reading this morning, I guess there was a carry group in Dallas, Texas, in Houston. And they walk around with long rifles, with semi-automatic rifle. And then they wanted to walk through a black neighborhood. And I'm like, that's deliberate. Like, you're not trying to, what you do is hope that some shit happens.
Right.
So you can use those guns and shoot people. That's the
Right.
What would be the purpose of walking through the Fifth Ward with guns?
I think that should be a reality show, though. I'd watch that every
Well, they
week.
have a couple of
It
episodes.
would
Holy
last that
fuck.
long. It would not last long at all.
Who would take that? TLC?
It would be on OWN. That's the damn show.
But what about the guy, the newscaster, who they said was editorializing and he shouldn't, but he was
The New
saying...
Jersey said that they don't.
But in that neighborhood, like you look at a black neighborhood where this guy actually... He stole a security guard's gun
Killed
just
a
to
cop.
kill a cop.
to kill him.
And I could see if it was a shootout where the cop was beating him and, all right, people like this guy. But why would they build a memorial to a guy who just did that and then murders a rookie cop for no reason?
Well, I think that is deplorable, and no one should do that. But what about the two people that were defending Cliven Bundy, and then they went and shot those two cops in Vegas? There's a whole paramilitary movement in this country that despises any government entities, and they thought those guys were heroes for shooting those two police officers.
Who thought they were heroes?
A lot of the people from that group, they said that that it was the first strike in what they believed to be a war.
Oh, you
Yeah.
mean the married couple?
Yeah.
Yeah, but most people looked at those guys that and they shot the guy in the Walmart parking lot.
Yeah. But the only reason the guy got shot
'Cause he tried to
reach
pull the gun.
for his gun.
Yeah, and then
that's
right
why he
behind him.
wouldn't have got shot. They were clearly hunting cops, and I think to me they both are deplorable situations. But one of them is kind of caught up in this mantra of all these people who have a reason to do damage to authority are equally as deplorable. To me, I watched the newscast this morning. I didn't think he said anything that I can't decipher what he got in trouble for. I can't.
The newscast, I'm guessing because he wasn't supposed to be editorializing. That's on Red Eye last night, I said, no, he didn't do anything wrong. But then someone raised the point, like, well, wasn't he just delivering the news and editorializing, which they're not supposed to do, unless it was an editorial.
Well, yeah, but he was giving.
I didn't.
It's almost like if there's any other kind of
he
an
just
accent.
talked about single parent fathers, and
yeah.
Let's have a realistic moment. A lot of the things in our communities are the results of a couple of things, and no one can deny them. And I think stated out, honestly, they do hurt. But just like to me, I can never understand what it is they're getting in trouble for exactly. Like when he said, there are a lot of people. A lot of problems in our community are primarily because some that were put upon us, and some that are clearly our doing. But there is a environment between cops and young black men that is toxic. They don't trust each other. They don't like each other. It's like lions and hyenas. So how that happened, but then you hear about 2 members of the KKK being on the Florida Police Department. So I think nobody can claim any more high ground. And he didn't say anything that a lot of people don't think. Just like to me, when who was that talking about? When Dallas owner, when he said when I see a black man with a hoodie,
it was Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Well, Mark Cuban said that. Now I think it's an accepted part of American reality is that when you see it, that symbolizes some things to some people.
Right.
But he also covered his bases. But that was all. I think he did that just because he knew Sterling was hiring private investigators to target people. So he wanted to kind of give himself like, hey, I've already talked about this. But then he said he was just as scared as the white people, which is not true. That was simply to say I was making it. What's the word?
Opposite.
Okay, I know that. Yeah, he was doing something.
And it goes back to the honest discussion thing. He was being honest.
Half honest,
but he is being honest. But
I mean half because you actually bring up really good points about that. Yeah.
But you know what's funny? People will accept. I accept the notion that people believe that young black men in hoodies are threats to them. I accept that notion. But they don't accept the notion that if a young black man in a hoodie can be the symbol for all, societal ills and for fear and violence, then a white man in a blazer and tassels represents a racist to me. Like, I'm serious. like who writes all the laws? So you'll accept one as a caricature of what,
sure,
but you won't accept the other.
Right.
And to me, it's a fair conversation. I'll agree. And even a lot of black people, if I saw a black man in a hoodie, young black man in a hoodie, I'd be afraid. Well, if I see a white dude in tassels, I'm assuming he's going to write a law that's going to fuck me around and send me to jail. I do.
I think you said something that is pissing off people, and we just want to clarify, possibly. Let me say hi to Chris in North Carolina. Chris.
Yes, I just wanted to comment to DL about Anthony's tweets. I've got to defend Anthony. I don't know exactly what DL's referring to that Anthony said about a race war. The only tweet that he tweeted that's even close that maybe DL's referring to is where Anthony tweeted, "It's really open season on white people in this day and age. No recourse. Fight back and you're a racist. The predators know this. Good luck."
Okay, race war, I didn't remember him saying but I thought I just missed it.
Yeah, obviously I didn't get it exactly right, but he did say something, and we're losing. So,
but I mean,
I don't care what Anthony said. To me, here's the thing. I think that what he said is fine. I mean, everybody can listen to him. He's entitled to his opinion. I certainly didn't take umbrage to it, but I think comparing some black chick whooping your ass to the whole interaction between black and white people, and it's open season on you guys just because you couldn't stop a chick from punching you in your face.
I think what happened was what bothered him was like more guys came over. Like, Times Square is like 1 o'clock in the morning. Right. It's a dicey area. Right. And guys came over and immediately were kind of like, don't hit that woman. Don't like, and he kind of, sometimes you just know what it's.
I would.
Maybe.
Just like if I saw an accident and it was an Asian person, I would assume they did it. What
if it was 2 Asians?
No, I'm just saying. So I don't know how that looks, but to have one interaction with somebody,
right,
epitomize or typify your. I don't think that's a. Look, I've got into it with white guys. I don't think that's an indictment of how our interaction is, and right. I think that his rant lapsed off into like some kind of racial conflict. And I don't think one black woman punch you in the face is indicative of all people. But he said we're violent. He said why is it always they resort to violence? Like, well, stop.
Yeah. I mean, the violence is immediate, no discussion, just violence.
Right.
What he's referring to is a lot of the stuff that you see on the World Star hip hop videos and stuff like that. I mean, it is predominantly black people that they have a lot of videos showing them, like the knockout game, knocking white people out for no fucking reason. I mean, just stuff like that's what he was referring to. And this situation, he just got his ass whipped. I'm sure he was pissed.
But to me,
of black people around, they surround him. He probably felt, you know, I mean, that's a bad situation. Whereas if you were in a certain area and a white girl knocked the shit out of you and some white dudes come around and was like, oh, what's that motherfucker doing? You know, I mean, I
wouldn't say, what I wouldn't do is indict every member of the white race because of my interaction with that one person. And the idea of us as being violent is really like that. To me, would be if a black dude in a hoodie is scary, a white dude putting a manifesto on YouTube is even scarier. But that like who's done, like the idea that we are any more violent than anybody else, and that idea permeates.
But this is what I was talking about before too, and this is where this is where it's the press and where the press gets frustrating. They will not mention when it comes to a black on white crime. I mean, the judicial system handles it,
right? And
the guy goes to jail for a long time,
right?
But the press is so scared of any kind of a racial, like look at suspect descriptions. The man is described in his 30s, 5 foot. Like they leave that word out, and there's a white reporters doing that. That's not black people,
right?
It's like they're afraid of the word black. They won't say it. They won't have any type of a racial. They refuse to acknowledge that. So that's the type of stuff that gets frustrating. It's not even the behavior or the videos. It's knowing that the press will report it a certain way.
To me, we look at the things totally different.
Yeah.
We look at things. I don't care. Like, to me, that's assault. Somebody punching your face is a fucking assault. And it'll be an assault whether a white dude did it, a white black woman. When Solange punched Jay-Z on the elevator, that's fucking assault. So
that was a great fight, though.
right. Well, fight means you fight back. It was one side.
That was amazing. She could scrap.
Yeah, she. But to me, I don't like the notion that there are these sweeping statements. I try to avoid them. When I say all the time, I'm not trying to paint everybody with one broad brush. Now, obviously, for comedy license in terms of comedy, I'll have a conversation like that. But why are they so quick to because all people are. All people of intellect and anger are going to be they're going to be quick to violence. I mean, more Americans have died at the hands of other Americans have died in all the wars we fought. So we're a fairly violent country. You got a law in Georgia now where you can bring a gun in the church. You can bring a gun to church. I mean, I guess prayer works, just not as fast as a Glock. I don't understand, like, where the idea that we are any more or less violent than anybody else is one that I don't necessarily agree with.
But that debate, even if you're right, could be at least be had back and forth,
right? Sure.
As opposed to them, and he would have an honest discussion with you, and you would certainly be honest with him. And that's the frustrating part.
But let a motherfucker punch you in the face. I would not. I could not condone anybody punching anybody in the goddamn face. But that's you and her.
Right.
It ain't got nothing to do with the people that came around.
Yeah, I wish he didn't. I wish he would have been more clear and just been more angry with her, because sometimes, again, when you're fucking angry, you hit the targets that you probably shouldn't hit. But I would
like Cliven Bundy when he was the rancher who was arguing about his fees. And he goes, how the fuck did we get in that conversation? Like, it's the black people. Like, motherfucker, we can't even afford steak, fucking cattle ranch. We don't know what the fuck you're talking about. How did we? He said grazing fees are un-American. Like those niggas. How the fuck we get in this? We're not in it. It's just hilarious to me how that's the first thing. And anybody who knows anybody, like you, and I think it's more people that have been insulated. That like one of the great things about a city like this in large metropolitan areas is that you have to interact with people. So you don't have to have a misplaced notion of somebody. You actually get to see them. If I watch World Star Hip Hop, I would think that's
the world.
But
if you're from a small town, right, you got to assume that's just the world, right?
The most educated member of our society, the most educated segment of our society is black women.
Hello.
They are. They're the most educated.
Bullshit.
It's just fucking true.
It's true.
It's true.
It's a joke.
Come over there.
Right. I didn't believe it either. But they are the most educated segment of our society, so you got to balance that against World Star Hip Hop.
Right.
It ain't reality TVs and shows and movies. have all kind of made these things be more real than they are. But I don't think Anthony, and I say this again, I don't understand what he said that was so different than what he said. I was not personally offended. I think that the only thing I could say that a company would say we have a problem with is the kind of connotation of race war.
Well, it was told to us that it was the violence that was associated with the tweets. That was their line.
Are you saying I hope she gets shot? You know, he was just saying.
That's what they told.
We all hope something bad happens to something that hits us.
Especially when you're angry.
That's what they told us was kind of the line.
So that was it. Oh, wait till you see the shit I wish on people.
We want him back, and we want him to have this discussion with the guys. You know, I would much rather hear. That's a much more interesting moment.
Right.
Is guys, honestly, because you don't see it anywhere. No one has it, honestly. No one just talks. Everyone's obsessed with being right. No one will go like, oh, all right, I kind of didn't think.
Or being super sensitive.
Did she beat his ass,
stuff.
though?
Yeah.
Did she whip him? Did
she hit him like 5 times.
Yeah, she beat him.
I think. But, you know, he showed
was
me.
she nice with hers?
He said she wasn't the best looking girl. I don't know if you saw a picture of her. You ever see Apocalypse Now? She looked like a boat captain. And Anthony sent me a picture of his nose. It was kind of like he definitely got clocked. He absolutely got clocked.
Anthony needs a gun though. Like he ain't no fighter. They invented guns for dudes like that.
Well, he's not. He's gotten quite a bit buffer. I've seen him in the pool. You'd be surprised. His body's a lot nicer than one might assume.
You can defend yourself.
Yeah.
That'd have been easier. I bet you calling the police would have been easier.
He should have filed a police report, but he didn't because he was like, I didn't want to. Yeah. He thought it was like some lady hit me. Like, I don't want to bother the cops with that. But in hindsight, because the papers made that a big deal. The papers were like, well, he didn't file a police report. But if he had filed a police report, they wouldn't have said, well, they just would have ignored it.
Right.
Yeah, you ain't gonna go to the police and say some chick with my ass.
No.
That ain't gonna.
No.
Right.
Who would do that?
I know. I have a friend that his wife used to kick his ass, and the police would come and go. Man up.
Really?
Oh man. And I almost fired him for it. Like I said, hey man, if you come back to the set all beat up like this, I'm gonna have to fire you. So he was getting his ass whooped at home, and then he almost lost his job.
And then he had to take it from.
He had to get a restraining order. But
I
just think if everybody's allowed to kind of have a conversation and say what I think everybody should be able to say what the fuck they want to who they want, and if there's an audience for it, that should decide it. Just like Duck Dynasty, they said what they wanted to say. They lost a large percentage of their audience. Mm-hmm. Now that shouldn't be up to you or to me. It should be up to everybody wants to turn everything over to the free market until it's time.
Right.
If your audience is going to be with it, let them have it.
Right. There you go.
So. But when he comes back, you give me Dennis Miller, I'll get you Anthony back.
You need more discussions like this. Like a lot of times on the subway, I'll walk up to black people and I'll go, we should talk.
How does that work out for you?
Not well.
Can I have one of those papers?
Oh my God, how bad would that be? All right, we got lots going on. Jimmy's going to do the advice show today at 1:00.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So the number
I'll be doing that live here at 1. So
1 p.m. DL's plugs. We have a Montreal plug for us. We'll be tomorrow through 17, 18, 19, 20 at Caroline's. Great comic. And then Friday, September 26th through the 28th. If you're in upstate New York, go to West Nyack to see him at Levity Live. Mm-hmm. And of course, October 15th, in Hermosa Beach.
Are you at Cobb's? You gonna play Cobb's?
I'm at Cobb's in August.
That's a great joint.
Yeah, I've been there. I haven't been there in a couple of years.
I'm at Cobb's in August. When in August?
I might be there the week after you.
You should.
I'm there the 7, 8, 9.
Oh, you don't eat anything anymore. That's why you're so skinny.
I eat, but I try to eat better. I like seafood.
I'll tell you a great restaurant there.
I like
San Francisco
sushi.
has the best restaurants in the country.
got
see
great
how great
food
we
out
are?
there.
Yes,
see how great we are?
absolutely. We made.
Why'd you call me nigga, Jim? What's that all about?
That's not what I said. It's not what I said. I was winking when I said it, like it was a funny private joke. Montreal, I will be at the Gizu Theater, whatever it is, Saturday the 26th. And then Cobb's, August 7 through 9. August 21 through 23 will be Dallas, and my Vice show comes on, I think, next Tuesday or the Tuesday after. I don't even know.
Right.
It's one of those two.
And then you guys are doing radio where again?
Here.
Yeah.
Today, 3 to 7. We're on...
you're an afternoon show. I think a morning show. Oh,
No.
Good.
Afternoons.
3 to 7.
3 to
That's
7.
right.
Yeah.
We like that.
Yeah.
What channel?
Radio 1039.
Mm-hmm.
It was a
1039.
signal out of Bronxville. Now we have it.
I look forward to being on your show to promote my new Vice interview
Absolutely.
show.
Yeah, when do we get the invite?
Yeah, I would love to.
But let me
here
tell
you
you
go.
something.
We
You
what
can
kind of
always
advice are you
come
giving?
Well, the advice show is on this. People talk about addiction and sex addiction. I just give my opinions.
Are you addicted to sex?
Oh boy, am I.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you, Jasmine, would you say you're addicted to
I'm
sex?
very addicted to sex.
Really?
Sex or love more?
Sex.
Okay.
You get the
Really?
love. What's love got to do with it? I just want to have more sex.
See, get the black chick around y'all. So the inner hooker comes
No,
out.
is the-
See what
you
I'm
know
saying?
what?
See,
Call me
It's
a hooker
horrible.
again.
Are you married or no?
I'm single.
Oh,
I've
me
never
too.
been married.
No.
Me neither. Do you like get sick of somebody after having sex with them a couple of times? Is it more the conquest? Because for me, it kind of is.
Yeah, it's kind of the conquest. I like the chase, the fun around it.
Are you a pervert?
No.
I'm a
well,
pervert.
define pervert.
Yeah, I guess liking things outside the norm, like not necessarily just
Like an example. Give me an example.
golden showers.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
Okay, I'm not saying you. No, I don't mean that particular thing. But
This conversation is now going to end.
feet, foot fetish.
All
right.
Not my thing. I don't like feet.
Taking it in the face. That's pretty normal.
That's not a fetish. That's
Strap
just like,
on.
That's just a Tuesday.
For me, strapping on? For who's strapping?
A woman strapping on for a guy.
I would do that.
See, okay.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Common ground. Common ground. It's all about finding common ground.
Try it. I think you should try everything once.
We disagree on urine, but we can meet in the middle on that.
Right.
You would actually do that?
Yeah, I would do that.
Sure, she would. That's a great way to punish men as well.
Yeah.
Like a guy will enjoy it.
Said what?
Whose is it? Oh.
Yes. My turn.
Yeah, I've never been able to fully take
What color,
that.
though?
Tried.
What color would you do?
Good question.
What do you mean? What color would I strap on?
Yeah. Says a lot, I think.
Probably. I don't know. I think I would do any color. I don't care.
Really?
I really don't.
So you're not dildo prejudiced.
I'm not.
Right.
I'm not. Equal opportunity.
Pink or
Yeah.
brown.
I don't
Pink,
like weird
brown,
colors. Black or white. I would prefer white, I think, but I would just, don't give me an aqua blue. It's just too silly.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
think
letting
the
you stick a
really
neon
black
dick in my
ones
ass.
Exactly. There's fucking stripes on it.
I look like I'm at a fucking rage. You got it in my ass.
Yeah, it's a barber pole. I don't want that in my hiney.
If somebody strapped you with a fucking lightsaber, who are you, Darth Vader? What the fuck are you gonna do? That's brown on that neon.
Stop it.
Let's get these guys out of here. DL, always a pleasure.
Always
Thank
good to see
you.
you,
Oh
my
man.
God,
Thank you.
it's
Tell
Well.
Anthony, man, tell him I love him,
Yep.
and he'll be back.
I hope you're right.
All right.
Yeah. Tell him I love him too, even though he doesn't like black people. I'm guessing, but tell him I love him
He'd like
too.
you. Everybody likes you.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys should have him on your show.
I would love to have Anthony on my show.
He'd give you an honest discussion.
Okay,
He's not
let's
a,
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Now you
Yes.
know what's funny?
Well, they let you talk openly, though, over there.
Come on,
Well,
stop
wait a
it. They don't even
second.
let me talk over.
Right.
But
That's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing. This is how non-controversial this is. A lot of black people wouldn't even know who he was. And
Of
what
course.
happened. They wouldn't even know to be offended because they wouldn't know who he was and what happened.
It's almost always white people who get upset about stuff like
Yeah.
that. Almost always.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you guys. And Jasmine,
Hey, that's
you and Jim exchanged numbers. So you
Yeah.
That's Groundhog Day broad.
Yes.
What's her
Allie-
name again?
Oh, I know who you mean. With an A. There's an A in it.
Anna McDowell.
Andy McDowell.
Andy McDowell.
She just walked by
Where's
our
Lisa
studio.
Welcher? I want Blair. I want a picture with Blair.
Why don't we, Roland? Why don't we get Groundhog?
All right. See you tomorrow.
Why don't we get Groundhog Day, girl?
Hey,
Thanks, DL. We're gonna.